We're gonna find out in a second. Okay. We finally got live. We did it. Yay! Hooray! We're here. Okay, so what I'm saying I hope worked is that I started it vertically, and I turned it horizontal at the last moment. So I'm hoping it's horizontal. It might be horizontal for me and vertical for you, so I'm not sure. But ideally, it is horizontal. Unless you try and watch your phone like this, then, you know, shout out to you. Anyway, we're back. It is Tuesday. It is Mars Day. Mars is in Leo right now. And she is in retrograde. So that's happening. So if you're feeling less than motivated, it's the end of the year. It's that weird time. Time is already weird and personal, and now you're just rushing from one thing to the next, and you don't know where you are in space. So, also Mars is retrograding, so listen to that urge to maybe sit down and snuggle and not be, you know, driving yourself crazy, which leads to our 3 groups for today. So group 1 is Priestess. You can see that. These things are gender, don't take it too seriously. The message of this card, if that is what resonates with you, is how are you being called to step up and lead? That's it everywhere. How are you being called to step up and lead? So if that resonates with you, you are in group 1, and that's the Priestess group. Group 2 is don't dim to fit in. Remember, this is happening in Leo. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And then take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So I feel like that one could be a little confusing in its wording. And it's basically like, girl, your life's work is your life, and you are building your life. That's the one thing that you're always building. So work, as we call it, is a small, it's supposed to be a piece of the pie chart of your life, not your entire life. So okay. So, group 1. Again, faces. These cards will look so much better and better. Like, how are you being called to step up and lead? Number 3 is don't dim to, number 2 is don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And then number 3 is take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So this is the time to pick your group. Drop it in the comments. Drop it in the chat if you're live. You just get to pick one. I say this all the time. Messages resonate over groups of people, right? These are collective messages. Take what resonates, leave the rest, right? Having said that, you might pick one and be like, man, but 3 really hit. I would also encourage you to sit with 1 if you picked it. But also, you could have meant 3 might have just resonated for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where your discernment and your intuition kick in, right? As the reader, like, I'm getting all 3 messages, so I understand. is what I'm saying. Just starting for yourself. And it might be all three. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's get started with group one's message. So I'm gonna set these over here. It shouldn't rain. Very light. Very light. Which buys more time for people to get here. Okay. I'm gonna put this on. I just I unlocked it and then I locked it back, and it was already too much. So I'm Cordelia today. Okay, so group one, your message. Pow, 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 pow. And that's it. That's so cool. Oh, they're green. Oh, I forget that they're green. Okay. Oh, I just got an idea. I'm gonna think about it. So off top, we have 7 of buttons in reverse, which you rarely get. Strength. And, ooh, the Magician in reverse. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of buttons. Yay! Okay. How are you being called to step up and lead? Right? So, I feel like there were contrasted messages because at the bottom there's the Page of Pentacles, but then you have the 7 of Pentacles reversed here, buttons in this deck. And it's like, Seven of Pentacles is being patient, generally speaking. Like waiting for your harvest, like it's coming, you're waiting for it. This in reverse feels like 2 things. You are, in your impatience, you have forgotten about it. Like it has just sat there and now it's been untended, right? So this is go back to step 1 and go tend to the stuff that you already started. That's the first part. With strength, because strength is very specifically about not brute strength, being like strength in like soft skills. If this was a resume, like strength and soft skills, and just like wanting to bullishly rush forward to just impulse, like impatience. We're talking about Mars and Leo, like it is coded as a very like masculine trait, right? So that does not culturally lend itself to the idea of being yielding, of being patient, of being nurturing. Like your idea of forward progress is just like always head forward. As an Aries rising, it's me, I'm bitches. But like always head forward. Like you're just, but like there's some doubling back that has to happen so that, like, the whole thing about a ritual is that you keep coming back and pouring energy into a thing. Whether you're lighting a candle, refreshing your water, putting it out with the cycles of the moon, like whatever your ritual is, you take a walk after work so that you clear your head before you go in the house. There's all types of rituals that we have and we observe. But the power in it is the coming back to it. It's the nurturing in it. So it's like progress is at odds, like seeing tangible progress is at odds, because to do that you have to stop and go backwards, and like, who likes to feel like they're going backwards? Nobody likes to feel like they're going backwards. Unless you're in a roller coaster, and there are people who just flat out don't like roller coasters for reasons. So, and the magician in reverse is giving deception. What is it? Charlatanry. Is giving razzle dazzle to obscure what's behind it. And really, it's just patience. Like, it's taking time to be able to marshal yourself. Oh my God, how Martian, right? Like, to be able to marshal yourself is leadership. That is an Aries expression of leadership for sure. When you think about, what's my guy? The Emperor. Like the idea that stability comes with self-discipline. And for my neurospicy babes, I feel you. Consistency in a neurotypical world can be a very traumatizing line to walk. But there is also just like self-maturation in the parts of you that you are responsible for, right? Like, no, that cannot be taken away from you. That's just part of the human journey, is having to self-actualize. So that includes changing ourselves. Like, this magician in reverse could also just be inward magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, focusing on being who you say you want to be inside versus the exterior that people see. Like, doing the real interior work so that your word and your actions align, instead of trying to glamour your shitty actions with like, oh no. So it's okay. Like, every pass is refinement. Think about it as distillation. You know, like, that is how you get some of your favorite spirits and some of your favorite processes, is to just, it's refinement. Going through it is refinement. It's not, you're not necessarily stuck. You may be stationary, but stationary is not always stuck. Like I said, I get all the messages, pow, pow, pow. But, or like, stationary is not movement, almost. Like, what does that even mean? Like, but it's not, you're not stuck because you're standing. You're not really standing still, you're standing in place. Like, but that's still a state of being. Like, something is still happening. Like, just because it's not forward doesn't mean it's not happening. And backwards definitely does not mean retraction from progress. Yes, that's what she's trying to say. Let's transfer it. So, group one, that's how you can step up and lead. You can start self-parenting. Hooray! Not even start, because once again, it's refinement, but you can tighten it up for yourself. Like, you know where you're being impatient. You know where you can spend a little bit more quality time. You know, it's both, it's buttons, like I said, for this deck, twice. Like, you can spend more quality time with yourself, I feel like, with this magician. Like, maybe you are just spun out, and so you're impatient and spun out and don't realize that the pace that you're keeping is keeping you from the progress you want to see. You gotta take some steps back. Literally, it's part of the review process. Like, reviewing is good. Reviewing gives you data. Reviewing is how you can course correct and get towards your goals and what you want to see. So yeah, you know. Once again, though, with the magician, you got everything that you need. That's cool. You got a little internal housekeeping. Housekeeping is cool. It was a perfect time. In 2024, where did you feel like maybe you were impatient? That you didn't give something the time it needed, that you rushed through things? And this is a good time to course correct. Like, don't go into a shame spiral. Like, nobody fucking needs that. Relax. And I mean that. Like, I know. What the fuck you mean relax? Relax. It's okay. I promise it's okay. It is okay to go back over something and just refine it. You don't have to keep changing the plan, because that's part of like why the thing can't maturate. If this is a blockage, it can't maturate. But strength is also repetitious. You know, strength is not something, it's something you build over time. Strength of character. Being brave is an active, you know, practice. You always probably rev it up to be brave. So it takes time. Let it happen. Don't force yourself. Don't force yourself to appear a way, especially, I think, with this magician in reverse. Don't force yourself to have to tap dance to somebody's vision of you or version of you. This is getting back into your values and your version of yourself. And you can always course correct that, even if that's not who you've been. I feel like that's a lot about when people don't change is, well, I've been this person for so long, how can I change? Like, what will people say? You know, because people won't let you cook. That's a very legitimate concern. It's not even a fear. It's a very legitimate concern to have. But it's your life, and you have to live it in a way that'll make you proud. So take that time. Step up to the streets like Channing Tatum. I don't even know if he was in that one. And that's how you lead. Yeah, everyone. There's your message. Cool. Okay. That was group one's message. We are going to mosey on down. Group two's, where do I want to put this? You can go right there. Group two, where you at? There you go. Don't do no fitting. Also, these cards, one of these days, I'll have my lighting together, and it's gonna be so beautiful and amazing and magical. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? In case we need to get that explained to you some more, which you might have. Be such a spicy Kiki Mars, and they'll be like, didn't the fit in for the fuck what? It's really the energy of that party. Didn't the fit in for who? Like, oh my God. You know, sometimes people feel like they need to. I get it. That's too bad. Fuck those people. You know. Take those two, because those were aggressive. For you three? I don't know if you were three. I'm with three. I'm not sure if you was three. Hang on. Yelling at me. King of matches. At the bottom of the deck. Fit in where? For who? For why? For what? Love it. Two of matches in reverse. I love these cards. They're so pretty. Oof, Temperance in reverse. It's like a Sagittarius unleashed. Beautiful thing to behold. Hate to be on the cleanup crew, bro. Hate to be there. The world in reverse. Okay. That's a lot of fire. Is that all fire? That's all fire. Jupiter is the world. No, look, Jupiter is the wheel of fortune. Somebody tell me, what's the astrological association for the world? Somebody put it in the chat or in the comments. Oh my lord, oh my Lanta. But the king of matches, two of matches, and temperance. Temperance is Sagittarius. And the only one upright is the king of matches. Bow down, bitches. Bow down, bitches. I don't know. Where do we want to start? I think temperance in reverse. I think that is a good balance. Temperance in reverse gives, I think when I see angels, yes, there is the spirit team or ancestors, you know, we'll just leave it as spirit team aspect of it, yes. But also I think it is like the compact you make with yourself. Like, to make choices in the direction that you think is good for you. That like you legitimately in your heart, not when you're being about it, but legitimately in your heart think are better for you. Like when you feel like you are in alignment with making those choices and like being very clear and very intentional. So something like temperance, I mean, there's not an angel on this one. What is that on this one? Oh, it's either a butterfly or a moth. No, it's on a tortoise. Yay! I love turtles as a theory. They freak me out in real life. They have talons and beaks, and they're not birds. That's the thing. I love you though. I really do. I have nothing but love for them. Nothing but love, except like talk about love something from a distance, girl. But I think that's all with the butterfly and or moth. Don't come after me. I'm not a bug girly. Is supposed to emulate is the concept of the angel in the Rider-Waite Smith. But she was in reverse. What does it say? Imbalance. Oh, great, because this is balance. But I feel like that's the imbalance. Is like that first one, like making choices that don't actually feed that part of your spirit. It's making a choice that feeds the persona. And like that's the bad part of ego, is when you're sacrificing yourself to feed the persona instead of using it as a lens, maybe. I don't know, I'm still figuring some stuff out, but it's too exterior. It's the performance part of Leo. It's the praise me, praise me, praise me, praise me, external validation, external validation, external validation. And to the detriment of your experience here, because your life is to be lived for you. With the understanding that we are social and how we interact with each other is complicated and layered and nuanced, but ultimately your life is supposed to be lived for you. How you iterate is up to the choices that you make. And so if that's not in balance, you're doing too much of the performing, which when you need to be decisive will keep you in a position where you're not making decisions. I don't even know if that says at the top. Hesitation. Like it feels hard to be fully expressed when you are out of balance. This is fine. This is so fine. No one cares. Having a good time. The world in reverse. What is it on here? That is a snake more than one snake and a wreath. That is a teacup with flowers coming out of it? She's giving. Okay, there's a lot. It is the world, okay? It is a seafood buffet, and it's in reverse, which is kind of a bummer. Because that is a lack of fulfillment, and you know who is fulfilled? The king of matches. Look at my guy, hanging out. Squirrel girl. Born leader. Born leader is what it says at the top. So if you are hesitant and shy and not letting your light shine, that's I think whenever somebody says that they're on a healing journey, it is by default a spiritual one. I think burnout is also spiritual more than anything. It feels like your soul is dying. So I think the most common symptom of burnout. So, I don't feel like I'm being so woo that I'm just like off the table. But you can't perform for the masses. And that's even harder in the face of like an internet world as I do this online. You just gotta show up. When and how, because at the end of the day, fuck y'all. I have goals and things that I want to do and things I set for myself. I have ambitions, okay? She's been ambitious. She's proud of being ambitious. I like being a get up and goer. That's why I'm looking for a walkable city to live in. You know what I'm saying? Much like my mother. She's a get up and goer. But like, born leader thing, because there are people who are not get up and goers. And somebody has to be the get up and goer. And some of us, like, yes, there's the trauma where it's been exploited because you live in an exploitive place. Like, yeah, that exists. But some of us, our disposition is set up that way. And it's a boon and a blessing, and thank God for it. But it can be suppressed. It can be abused. It can be overlooked. It can be underappreciated, not appreciated or valued at all. And so it can definitely make you be less of yourself. But I love that it's matches because it's like, fuck it, burn it down if you have to be who you are. Take all of them with you. Maybe that's what I'm thinking, balance. Okay. What else does it say? Vision and intent. Okay. Because we were talking about, I can't lift up my shirt because I'm not wearing a bra to wipe this, but I want to show that. Vision and intent, like hesitation, not being able to make a decision, not being able to take action because you are so worried about this external validation that may or may not be coming. Oh my God, what is that quote? It is about living. If you live at the hand of a man's compliments, you will eventually starve or something. That is not it, and that is a horrible paraphrasing, but you get the point, because the point is made. No. It's soul sucking. It's soul crushing. You feel out of balance. And that doesn't motivate you to go obtain fulfillment and attain, trying to say so many words at once, always, leads to unfulfillment. Like, there is something to be said about seeking. I think yearning is one of the most beautiful emotions that we have. I know, I'm a romantic. But I think it tells you something about yourself. And if you don't have the gumption, the get up, the curiosity about your own world, because you're so busy putting your energy and attention to what people think of you, you have now completely limited yourself and what your version of the world can even be. Like, you lack vision. You definitely lack intent. Like, you're not being actionable. And you know, we're leaving Sagittarius season and heading into Capricorn. I'm getting into it, girl. But all of this goes somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, energy, you either put your energy there or you're putting your energy there, but your energy is going somewhere. Even if you're scrolling, it's going out, but also what you're consuming is going in. So just like when you eat food, you put food into your body and then it becomes energy that powers your engine. What you're consuming, even if you're being inactive, you're just scrolling, disassociating, rotting, whatever you want to call it. No, your energy is going somewhere. It is contributing to all of this shit. So it's time to get more in balance. I think that goes even back to group one's message about like getting back, like maybe it's your routines that you need to get back into. And maybe one of the routines you had was affirmations, so that you felt you were increasing your worth and your value to yourself. You were pouring into yourself positively. So maybe it's time to go back to that practice. Journaling, whatever you were doing. Maybe you were being creative and artistic. Maybe it was sex, because sometimes that falls off when we get depressed. Date, romance, all of this stuff, like all of these Leo things. You know, like maybe you had a happiness practice that you, in the funk, have forgotten that you have for a reason. Because that's when like the blame sets in and it's us and we're da-da-da-da. And you're like, no, you have a tool, ideally, you have a toolkit, you have a support system for a reason. So this King of Matches being the only one upright is telling you that you need to be the leader that you are, the person that you are. Like, let your heart fill your body. Like, it's not, yes, the world is so cold. It's so cold, baby. It's so cold. But like, you gotta let it shine, you know? This little light of mine. I know, it's Mars and Leo, so it's like, it does not give a fuck about what you hoes think at all. So, which I'm saying, this Kiki has to be hilarious at some point. But get in touch with your desires, because I feel like also the King of Matches is like, when I see the King and Queen, and like I said, gender is so when I see those court cards come out, I'm like, it speaks to the maturation of things. And I think what they're trying to get at is more an internal maturation versus an external show of it, which is a good lens for me to continue to think through. Check. I love that I recorded this. Yeah. Okay. Shit, yeah. Because I really wrestle with the gender of this shit. And I'm like, that's mostly the best I can articulate it. Is just like, but yeah, get in touch with your desires, okay? Your inner motivation, your ability to lead, okay? If you don't feel like a leader, I don't want to say I think everybody can lead, okay? I think leadership qualities can be developed. I think most things are on a sliding scale spectrum. spinny wheel thing. I don't know. So some people out of the gate are just gonna get frustrated enough to do it. I think when we think about boiling, we're thinking about the people who get frustrated first and who want to change something. You know what I'm saying? Those are the board leaders. Is it a joke? No, but for real, like, there's just a level of comfort, I think, that some of us have, and then through our interactions, those are the things that are fed, us being comfortable around people, or us being weary around people, and usually some weird other thing. I have not even tried to check the chat. Your inner motivations are your desires. Don't let your desires be so secondary. Your desires should lead, not public perception, not the persona. You gotta put that down and get in touch with who you are. And as I think this is a good time to think about your motivations. Like, how much are you, like, you're dimming your light to fit in, so you're putting on a show. And Leo loves the performance, baby. Leo loves the performance. So, just go through it. But, like, they're also very courageous. You know what I'm saying? So let that need to be yourself burst through. That part of Leo, the part that does self-express because it's gotta. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that part be what helps you through. So, group 2, that was your message. Group 2, I didn't pick a group. Well, I think I did. I picked all 3. I was like, I'm gonna just get shot 3 times. So it's fine. I'm gonna see a dead body. It's my body. I'm gonna go back and watch this because I gotta edit it. That's part of why I do this, son. I have to review and reflect. So dumb. So dumb. Okay. Take a break. Pew pew pew. It's giving Morocco. Okay. It's giving Marrakesh. Okay. It's giving. Don't you worry about a thing. Under the moonlight. Okay. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So this is group 3. So even if you're watching this on the replay, hopefully you had already picked your group. And I'm like, what more people? Because I almost got deserts in it. Kind of want to switch decks. I like the desert thing. Alright, for myself later. I'm gonna do it for myself later. Y'all don't get to see that one. I'm gonna do it for myself. Hell yeah. Okay, I just try to make sure I'm not making them just like a bunch. They're generally speaking trying to be in harmony with each other. Okay. Take a break. This is a great one. Take a break. What is y'all's message? Oh, dang. It's your vacation right now. That's the message. We are currently on vacation, sitting in the Airbnb. It's a luxurious Airbnb too. Okay. 3 matches in reverse. That's like not beautiful. What does this say? Obstacles. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. And then we have the Hangman. And it's a bear. Look at that. I love these cards. Because of course the Hangman is the best. The Universe. Okay. Disclaimer about this deck that I forget about. It comes with extra cards. So it's not just 78. It's like 83? Question mark? Yeah. Who's that? Ace of Matches! Pew, 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 pew. But you got obstacles, you got blocks. 3 of Wands is like also taking a voyage and going somewhere. So like you just won't take a break. there are obstacles to you taking a break. It's good to be obstacles. We need to change our minds that we don't have time. Capitalism is crushing all of us. You know what I'm saying? So, just like we had to get up and go, steps backwards are not necessarily the end of the story or bad, you know, through line up until now to this one. A little change of perspective, and even once again, sometimes the hangman is inertia. You know what I'm saying? So a perspective on what we can accomplish change, I think. On how we can accomplish it, on how capable we are if we have a perspective shift. Can you change everything? So yes, if you just look at it as this big insurmountable thing, no, you can't accomplish it. But if you break it down, because this upright would be that, if you break it down into surmountable challenges, they're still challenges, nobody's taking it away from you, but they are now far more achievable. And the way that you view yourself and your capacity also changes. You're like, well, I can do that. Yeah, you can do that, so do that. That leads to that, leads to that, leads to that. There are gonna be steps backwards in this process, because in this move abroad process specifically, people ask me, the best example of this is like, what's your timeline, or like when? And I'm like, motherfucker, I've never done this before. So all of this is conjecture at this point. This is a pipe dream that I'm trying to make happen. So it's gonna take as long as it takes. I can have estimations, but like even for myself, I'm not trying to trap myself in this idea of I'm gonna be able to get this thing that I have never done that is huge to do. Like moving is just big, period. But moving abroad is so many other layers of bullshit to consider. And to also leave behind, because you're not trying to ship that shit with you. So yeah. So it informs the choices I make in the next year. Like things that I will and will not be buying will be informed by the fact that I don't want to pay to ship anything. Will it be cheaper to buy it there? Things like this. But this is all a process. And I'm learning this through doing the process. So a little mind shift, you know what I'm saying? A little shift in perspective lets you see what's possible, right? And also I feel better about making decisions to let things go when I feel like I'm not just solely acting from an emotional place, because I've given it some time to sit and think and really consider what's the better fit for some things. Like if some parts of the itinerary have to change, if this, then the thing has to change, I tasked myself when I started this process to remain flexible, to remain joyful and flexible, and also honest and emotional about all of this process. Because it's not fucking rosy, even in the research and like all of this phase. Because now I'm also setting multiple budgets, because there's now the move abroad budget, there's the you gotta live while that process is happening budget, like business budget from personal budget. So anyway, but broken down into like just the idea of budgets. Like, oh, it's just like one thing that I have to do that's just part of my life. So a little perspective shift will help make something that seems unscalable far more likely. And it's far easier for you to take that first step, because now you're not in overwhelmed paralysis. You know what I'm saying? I bet you do. Okay, the universe. I don't know what this one is, because let's see, universe. What is that? Is that a shell? Okay, it's got sea themes, and it says the universe. So it's giving expansion, expansiveness, infinite growth. Love you, girl. Infinite growth. Possibilities. Evolution. Yes. Yeah. I love that. If you're willing to if you're willing to be changed, like I have my issues with my dearly departed Christianity, but one of the things I love is the idea of letting the Lord use you. Like that you can be put to such a beautiful purpose, like, and it's supposed to change you. Like it's supposed to leave its mark on you, that you're supposed to change. Because so much of life is, especially when you excel, is that people are like, oh, you changed, oh, you acting funny, da da da, right? So letting something use you is going to leave its mark on you. Letting something have his way with you, as we love to say, is bound to leave its mark. And I still think that is like beautiful and ATR-ish. A little ATR-ish. But yeah, so I love the idea of like growth and expansion, because in our ideas of being a good person or a good friend or a good lover or a good parent, whomever, we don't allow ourselves to change because we feel like if we're changing, we're doing a disservice to that person. If I change, well, how can I love the person the same? If I change, then what's to stop them from changing? If that changes, this whole thing falls apart. Like it's scarcity mindset. It's fear. It's fear based. And this is to get into a position that isn't. And I think one of the ideas that is the most expansive right now is the idea of rest. To think that you can rest, to take control of being able to rest, that you can be in control of when you rest. Because I don't know nobody who's not tired. So, just gonna put that out there, that the notion of resting can expand. But even rest is not just lying in bed. I feel like when we talk about expansion and possibilities, the idea that rest is I'm getting 8 hours of sleep is very rudimentary. Like even your idea of what rest looks like. Because then you get into like, okay, let's branch out from rest. What does that look like? That looks like ease. What does ease look like? But then you have to start unpacking all of the emotions that come with that stuff. Like if ease looks like laziness, then when are you ever gonna be easy? You never gonna take it the fuck easy, because easy means lazy, and we equate laziness with being a bad person. So a lot of perspective shifts have to happen for you to legitimately and truly and deeply embrace the idea of rest. Because this is take a break, and breaks are rest. Like 15 minutes in between a meeting is a break, is a time to rest. Right? That's not necessarily a time to eat, it's a time to rest. To not talk to anybody for 15 minutes, to plug your phone in and just sit there and be like, maybe disassociate for 15 minutes. But that's the point. It's like that is rest. So if that changes for you, like when you start thinking like, oh, you know what? I need to take a rest break in, like I said, the transition from work to home. That's a good time to take a break, to take a rest. It doesn't mean that you have to come home and take a nap. Maybe go for a walk. Like we don't necessarily think about something so active as walking as rest, but it is. It's rest for your nervous system. It's rest for your mind. It's rest for your spirit. Like that's what a break is. So even when we talk about expanding, we have to expand around notions of things, and that's how they apply to us and how we use them. Okay. And then we have the Ace of Wands to turn you on. The Ace of Wands has all of the potential of the fires of her suit. So that is passion, that is action, that is creativity, that is religious fervor, that is travel, that is, springing into action, type shit. What does this say? This says inspiration. Oh yeah, inspiration too. That's what I think of, like spiritual fervor. But passion and inspiration are different, but I like to put them together. That does not surprise me. I just said that. What else did she say? She says opportunity and potential. These have all been very positive. Okay, I would like to shout out how positively attired, I know that's not the word, but it's what I'm going to use. This is not the time. These spreads have been for us because, yes, they get at, deeper things, but they have been very positive. Because I will take an ace of matches, right? Oh, what are the animals? It's a bird and a hat. It's a bird and a hat. I don't know what kind of bird. Oh, like cannon. Get after it, bird. It's like a Looney Tunes bird. But yeah, all of that, like with the universe and being like infinite growth and the Ace of Wands, that should be like, if you can light a fire under your own ass, you can have whatever you want. TLDR. These obstacles, these challenges are something that can be overturned, that can be overcome. I think, one, that's why I have my disclaimer about like, which one do you pick when you pick your group and how do you take the message? This is where you get introspective and self-reflective. Like, okay, what could, even if you want to be literal, because I love that, like 3, right? This is 3 matches, cool. Write down 3 things that you think are obstacles, and then write 3 solutions. A solution for each, or bonus, you unwed overachievers especially, 3 solutions to each one problem to remind yourself that obstacles are not stop signs, and even stop signs are pauses. Red lights eventually turn green. Like, remind yourself that solutioning is possible, that you can have strategy to get you through, that you can plan, that you can make a way, baby. You can make it shake. You can make it shake. So, take a little time. Not too long. Don't hang out here too long, girl. Don't get stuck on this branch, even if you're a cute little bat. What else did she say? Letting go. Oh. Yeah. Let go of the shit that does not serve you. But like those mental things that don't, like those voices that you hear, start to pay attention to them. Try to trace them back so that you can kick them the fuck out of your brain. And your heart and your body. It's the 3rd message. 3rd one is take a break. Which I love that that's where you came in, because you need to take a break. You gotta take a break. Congratulations, you gotta take a break. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you're 3. And it's take a break. Perfect. Take a vacation. You put in the work. You ran a race. You have overcome your obstacle, because that's what was at the bottom of the deck, was the 3 of Wands in reverse. You have overcome that challenge. So that's dope. That's fucking dope. I'm so glad you passed. I'm so glad you did it. Okay. This is where we were. Speak love. You got to go back and watch. Ace of Wands. So you have all of this potential at your disposal to get through it, to create opportunities and to seize opportunities as well. So if you actually believe that, if you believe that about yourself, then it's easier to take a break. It's easier to rest. Like, you're supposed to be able to rev up for challenges, get through challenges, have a cool down period. Like, what group fitness class have you been to when they don't do a cool down? Like, for real. That's not gonna go to that class. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to get you back to your manageable place, right? And that's what rest is. That's what a break is. And you have to be just as passionate about your rest as you are about your goals and, like, accomplishing things. You know what I'm saying? Like, accomplish some fucking rest. How about that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let that be something that you protect just as fiercely as you would protect like your time to go to work. Like, if you expect somebody to respect your time at work, that same energy needs to go into having people respect your time at rest. And that fucking includes you. Honestly, it starts with us. Like, let's be for real. Oh wait, Taylor, no, it went away. I had this figured out. And now I don't. There we go. Rest is resistance. Nap ministry, bitches. Get the manifesto. Get that black lady some money. She from Chicago. Give us some money. I love that. She from Chicago. Give us some money. But yeah. Put some of that energy into play. We're talking about it being in Leo. Put that energy into play, bro. Put that energy into self-romance. Put that energy into making your life's work your masterpiece. Like, let that self-expression. The only thing you can't be self-expressing is not exhaustion. Or exhaustion is not the only thing that you should be self-expressing. You know what I'm saying? So, just like we're in charge of ourselves, we would tell somebody to get up and get a job. Get up and lay down, I guess. I don't know. Get up and go for a walk. Like, get up and go sit by the water. Get up and go journal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that same energy needs to be put into protecting people's spaces of rest and being able to come back to themselves. Especially as we talk about, we have mental health crises, and people want to help, but the way we think culturally about rest has to change. You know, the way we perceive how people can exist in society together has to change. Like, they have to incorporate rest, but also some people are fine being oppressed and they will feed into it. So this is the part where you have to unpack that for yourself. Like, where are you keeping yourself in prison? Like I said, by these ideas of laziness, about, well, if I don't go get it, I don't deserve it. So all of these things go into being able to take a break, to be able to be still, and to prioritize just as highly replenishing and nourishing yourself as you would getting something done for work or for your family. Like, the martyrdom. Like, it don't have to be that all the time. Sit your ass down. So, take a break. Maybe it's not. Maybe take your break is a year and a half backpacking across someplace. Cool. Do that. Take your break. Take your sabbatical. Take your break. So, group 3, that was your message. So you came in to hear that, which I love. So, even if you were group 1, group 2, group 3, What groups did you pick? Aren't these cards cute? I don't remember what these ones are. 5 cent tarot. And these are Work Your Light oracle cards. So, yeah. Put it in the chat, put it in the comments. How was your message? What message did you resonate with? How do you hope to integrate this going forward? So, she's tired. She's gonna go. Thank you for being here. Bye, y'all. Bye, Taylor. Let's have a room. No, you need to go to bed. Fuck that. Fully received in alignment. Thank you. You are welcome, Marilyn. Bye.